Hello everyone, it is Britt and I am joining you from the Golden Handle. You are seeing right now our curlers are heading out onto the ice for the 12 o'clock draw. I'm about to be joined momentarily by Jeff Hannon, and we'll be bringing you the action today here from the club. I believe Jeff has just logged on. Jeff, can you hear me?
I can. I'm coming out to the ice to see if we can pick up some of the pipes.
Excellent. That's a great idea. So Jeff will be out on the ice. I'll sit here behind the glass. If you're not familiar with curling, this is a very traditional part of what we do. If you make a main event final, the piper leads you out onto the ice to salute the players today. Live on tap, right?
Just been using quick play down here.
Oh, and the war room disapproves of the way they walked out. Switching you back over to the near houses view so you can see the piper and the players coming into view. Applause for the piper. He did a fantastic job. Now the toast from Jack Miller. And Jeff is back here in the warm room as the curlers are lining up. So let's just do a quick match reset for what we're looking at today. So I'll go right down the line. I'm going to start from right to left just because that's where I'm sitting. On sheet C, we're going to have the Petersham Club with a skip whose name I've already been told you can't try to pronounce. So Jeff, help me out.
It's Kevin Hotaling.
Kevin Hotaling. And they're playing against Steve Clay and a Nutmeg Columbus combo team. Moving over to sheet B, which is our main event final, we have Sean Mayne's Nutmeg Squad going up against Rimkus and Broomstones. And then over on sheet A, we have Matt Gallegos versus Mark Mooney. Mooney from Plainfield and Gallegos from Ardsley. So we've got a fairly diverse group of clubs today. It should be a really great day.
And on sheet A, that's the third event final, and sheet C is the second event final. Sheet B, obviously, is the first event final. And it's Gallegos, Matt Gallegos.
I'm looking for him because I know him by his mustache. Should he grow it out?
He's out there with the pineapple outfit on.
Oh, he went from handlebar mustache to full beard, and that's how I didn't recognize him. Well, they're coming off the ice now, so we'll be having curling in a moment.
Did you pick up any of the pipes when I was out there?
Oh, yes. The pipes came through really nicely, actually. Thank you for doing that.
Excellent.
Oh, really? We're going to do photo ops now? Play your match first.
No, we're just putting the phone away. Oh, over there on sheet B. I see.
Yeah, sheet B. No, sheet B's taking photo ops. Oh, they want both teams. Well, that's very nice. So take this opportunity while it's quiet to thank everyone who joined us this week for the stream. Really happy to be able to bring this to you, and thanks for tuning in. Been a great golden handle.
We have anybody watching this morning?
Do we have anybody watching this morning?
There's 3 people viewing at this point.
Hello, all 3 of you.
We do have our chat up, so if you want to pose a question or ask something, be up there. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, and I already have my first correction. I pronounced both clubs incorrectly. So, Peter Sham and Hotaling. Well, you guys weren't in the warm room to know that was a running gag, was that we couldn't pronounce Hotaling, and that it was pronounced 7 different ways over the course of the weekend. So I was just going with the most recent pronunciation on that one. So, but please, keep in the comments. Thank you for joining us. Look forward to bringing you a great match.
Anybody need a little shot? We'll take some Drambuie. Yeah, I'll make it over there.
Oh, the Drambuie is beginning to circulate in the warm room, which is going to make for a really great background noise in this match.
No, there's plenty. Oh, it looks like there's quite a lot. Oh, and they're pretty. We had a few teetotalers out there.
Oh, I'm on the wrong house.
Just keep zoom.
This one?
Yep.
Alrighty, so now we're showing you the far houses where the rocks will come to rest at the end of the first end. There's usually not a lot to talk about in the first rock or two unless something goes terribly awry. So far we've got 1 rock thrown, and it was a beautiful guard just off the center line, so it looks like the ice is moving very nicely already. Sheet C has its first rock away too, and it's another nice guard, so fantastic job by the ice crew again getting this ready for today and all weekend long.
So over on sheet A, Mark Mooney has, take that back, Matt Gallegos has the hammer over there, and their first rock is actually Hog. And on sheet B, it looks like
Mayne will have hammer.
John Mayne will have hammer, and on sheet C, it is Hotaling. Is that what we decided on?
I don't know.
We Kevin. Let's call him Kevin.
Kevin. He's got a first name.
Kevin will have the hammer.
Yeah. Oh, I'm getting more corrections. I'm still getting it wrong. Well, I'm not going to even try to pronounce this person who's chatting. We appreciate your feedback and everything. But if you'd like to drive down to Nutmeg and correct me directly so I can hear you say it, we'd love that too. But otherwise, we'll do the best we can, folks. We're going to bring you some great curling today.
And we're going with Kevin.
And we're going with Kevin. You might hear in the background there's a little bit of chatter. That's just because they're giving out the awards from the earlier matches today. 4th and 5th event finals happened at 9 a.m. Team Zakin and Team Simi are winning respectively. So awards going on behind us right now. Right, so far we got a couple guards and zones across all 3 houses. Let's see how this develops. What is Matt on sheet A wearing, Jeff? It looks like some sort of bizarre onesie.
Yeah, it has pineapples on it. I'm not sure the significance of Matt's outfit. Maybe next time he gets in the house we can swap to... Do you want me to run the cameras?
I'm fine if you'd rather do that. Let's swap spots.
We can do that.
So we're having a little fire drill here as the announcers switch spots.
A little production change.
So we can get the guy who's experienced on the camera views.
Important thing is I also moved my drink, so...
That's the most important thing. I mean, I've only done 2 of these events so far. I mean, broadcasting is a relatively new thing here at Nutmeg. I'm very pleased to be broadcasting today with Jeff because Jeff is going to tell me everything I do wrong on these things because he's a much more experienced curler than I am.
And since I'm now running the cameras, I need to go grab some glasses.
Yep, absolutely. So I'll keep an eye on things for now. It looks like over on sheet B, Sean Mayne has a biter early in the front 12. But otherwise, the houses look... Oh, no, we got a yellow over here on C. And A right now is pretty open. So watching all 3 sheets to see what develops here.
Trying to get another draw and get a second rock in the house here on sheet C. And
through it goes.
Slides through.
Well, we have some action on sheet B. We have a takeout by red that takes out the yellow that was in the front of the house, and now there's nothing in the house.
Well, there's sheet B. A couple of red guards, a yellow guard.
Sean's going to open it up right now. He's not going to waste any time with making sure, because he has hammer here.
And we're removing the only rock that was in the house on sheet C, so we're just trading colors there. Again, sheet A, we have no rocks in the house down there, and our camera for the far end, the scoreboard end of sheet A, we don't have the overhead for that.
And sheet
still
B,
working on that.
Right, sheet B, the takeout attempt by Nigel Lucas to open up the front does nudge the red stone slightly, but does not put it out of play, and the yellow goes out. So it opens up, makes it a little bit of a wider gap on B, but not really what Sean wanted there.
Here's 3 of the bins. You can see what 3 of them are.
And now let's see if they'll take advantage of it here.
Rimkus is trying to throw a draw in there behind the guard, and it looks like it's going to come up light.
Which isn't terrible. Well, it's terrible for Sean, but...
By the way, you can see the cop sheet. Is that my phone?
Still no rocks in the house over on A. We're looks like another draw attempt here. And that's going to come up light. A little struggle with the speed out there early here in the first end, it looks like.
Yeah, I think that's more of the curlers, though, because the first couple shots, the guards we saw put up were really nice. So it's just guys getting warmed up. Well, it looks like Sean cleared out that other guard on A, and now, I'm sorry, on sheet B, and it looks like they're trying to get in again.
And it looks like they're trying to play the tap this time.
Yep. They're going to end up splitting.
They tap it in top 8 foot. It's open, though, so Sean's asking Kathy Morley for a takeout there.
And again, if you hear applaud behind us, we're giving out awards for the earlier draws, the 4th and 5th event. So Kathy's shot looks pretty good. She hits the red.
To remove it, and the shooter actually stays, rolls to the outside, which is not a bad spot when you have the hammer. So
absolutely, that's a great spot with the hammer. Just because your opponent's not going to worry about it, and as soon as I say that, Rimkus puts his broom down and says, "Let's get rid of it." So that's why I have Jeff here, because I don't know Jack.
Yeah, the other choice for Rimkus would be to draw around the center guard without the hammer.
Which is probably what I would do, but I mean, I'm not nearly experienced as you guys are on this one, so. And he knows his team.
Yeah, they're just playing a little defense here.
And that's going to be a nice shot.
That's going to be a great shot. It actually noses it and stays just half in a 12 foot. So Sean says, okay, we can try that too.
And if he can get a roll in, I mean, it's a pretty long way to roll under that guard on sheet B, but it'd be a nice place.
Looks like sheet A, we might actually get a rock into the house. And a little tap and pushes the rock into the... Sorry. We were asked to be quiet, so...
Let's go to our golf voices here. So we're going to go to the 16th green. So while we were asked to be quiet, what happened on B? Oh, Sean did get it out, but he didn't stick around. So right now we have an empty house on B. We've got 1 stone for Matt over on sheet A. What's going on C? Well, C's got a couple of yellow stones in play. One that's biting the front of the house and guarding the shot rock. Partially, anyway. I can still see most of the yellow rock that's counting on C, so I think they're going after it now.
So we're gonna wait for the final pin presentation here, and then we'll be back on briefly.
Yeah, so we'll be quiet for a moment here, just kind of observe the stream and enjoy.
And I want to thank my team. Jane Beatty in lead, Greg Steffen in second, Ada Leslie at vice. It was great playing with you guys. It was a lot of fun. We had a good, lot of fun playing with you. Thanks. And thanks again to hold on to you. The whole club. Thank you, Jack.
All right, so I think we're back now. Sheet A, Matt Gallegos made a nice tap, and that rock is half in the 8-foot.
And our fourth event winners, Team Zagin.
Oh, we have more awards.
We got the 4th event winners now going up. So sheet B, we can see no rocks in play. Sheet C, 1 yellow for Kevin, and he's trying to throw a guard on it.
Looks pretty good.
So, I'd like to introduce my team.
It's going to all be about line here.
Carl Buckley at second.
And he might even be biting there, Jeff.
I'm Mark. We started this spiel on the very first shot with Ellie yelling at me for calling sweep for weight and not for line. We ended the spiel with Rana yelling at me for coming into the warm room without the full team, which is to say that the Buckleys and Zakins spiel like we always do. We've been playing together.
So meanwhile, over on sheet B, while the awards are going on, looks like Sean's trying to draw in. He's decided he's going to come slightly different.
Great time as we always do. So fantastic. Special thanks to my really good friend Jack, who did an outstanding job on the I did everything I could to let Jack win this morning, including sitting 2 with a shot for 3 that cut my
Shot coming in on sheet B. It looks a little hot.
in the game. It was very nice of me. Just prior to that,
He gets by the guard, but he's still a little heavier than he wanted to be.
So after that, he said, "Thank you for returning the Christmas gift." Anyway, thanks to everybody.
Is he biting in the back there on sheet B? Yeah, he is. Okay.
Especially thanks to everybody who came who's not from Nutmeg to make this a truly special spiel. Thanks again.
All right, with that, I think the awards are finally over.
All right, so over in sheet A, we still have that 1 yellow rock for Matt Gallegos in the top of the 8-foot. Mark has the hammer, and this is be his last rock coming up. On sheet C, head over there real quick.
Let's see
Sheet
what's
C,
going
you
on.
can see yellow is sitting shot, and Kevin has the hammer, and this is his last rock coming in. Thank you.
And we've
We
been
got
provided a
drinks.
shot of Drambuie.
Drinks
This-
delivered.
This is a pretty good gig. All right, so let's see. Here comes a shot on C. And what's he trying to do here, Jeff?
He's trying to draw his last rock.
Just outdraw for 2?
And it's heavy, and it's going to actually
This might work out.
It does. It pushes out the red, and Kevin now sits 2. And scores
Which was
2
the
in
idea.
First end.
So this is the first red rock on sheet B. Oh, no, second red rock. So let's see what they do here. And it looks like they're going to be
down
heavy.
make the takeout. They're making the takeout on that rock in the back. Successful. And sheet A, Mark Mooney's hammer, last shot here. Attempted draw on the far outside. Sweepers are on it very hard. I don't think it got there. Looks just short. So I think Matt steals one. Or is there more rocks? It's hard to see the rocks. Yeah,
there is
there's
one
more
yellow rock left. And speaking of the last yellow rocks, Sean Mayne's about to throw his hammer on B. He's basically drawing for one right now. Comes out pretty
like
good.
Takeout weight to me.
Yeah, it really does. I think he's using that red in the back for backing.
Sweepers are on it hard, and he has it. And is it going to roll out for the blank? And it does.
And there it is. And that's a great play by Mayne.
So blank on sheet B. Sean Mayne will carry the hammer into the second end. Over here on sheet C, it was 2 for Kevin with the hammer, and not sure what happened on the first rock.
That's a nice guard over here on C. Sheet A, they're having a good look at the rocks, so I'm not quite sure how that ended up, but they're moving stuff.
I believe it was 1 for Matt. He tried to make another tap up for second point and just didn't quite get there. So we can swap to the warmer end. Sheet A on your right and sheet C on your left, and that's where your friendly commentators are sitting over here. Wave, Britt. Our production center.
Ooh, sheet B, the first rock comes in. It's just it looks like a pretty good guard.
It's a very good guard, just a couple inches in front of the house. Very useful. So it was 1 for Matt over on sheet A. Get a blank on sheet B. And 2-0 for Kevin up over the Columbus Nutmeg team.
And
Steve Clay.
Oh, this is going to be very nice. He might even get the inside of this. He will, and he'll roll under partial cover. Very nice shot. Who's his lead? I'm looking right now. Diane, his wife.
There you go.
His wife Diane makes a fantastic shot. Over on sheet B, Sean Mayne's first rock went a little heavy and went through the house, so giving red an early opportunity to kind of take advantage of the house.
And Mark Mooney was trying to make a draw over in sheet A, and that's going to be heavy as well, and slip to the back 12. Had a removal of that guard on sheet C here.
Watching Matt sweep on sheet A is amazing. I don't understand how he stays upright. I mean, he's like on a 45-degree angle to the ice. It's amazing how his body he just puts that much pressure on the broom.
So there's the outfit. It's not very easy to see with the overhead shot, but basically all those yellow splotches all over the pants and the shirt are pineapples. And I don't know the significance of that.
We'll have to find out from him later.
We could actually do an on-ice interview. Wireless microphone headsets. We can go out onto the ice. It does transmit that far. Nice draw here on sheet C.
Very nice.
It's open, but it's tight to that guard. Kevin says we can tap that back a little bit or sit on top of it. Cut down the scoring area. Over in sheet B, I think we're going to tap up that very tight centerline guard.
It's either that or he's trying to come in the port. I wasn't really clear where he was tapping his broom, so let's see what he wants us to do.
Sheet C, this rock is a little heavy, and it's going to be a little wide, and go right through. It did go through the port on sheet B.
And ends up splitting the stones both into the house. And now you've got a lot of red stones out front. So Sean Mayne's going to try and take care of that with his second Nigel. I mean, I think Sean is still shot rock in the back there, but still, I mean, it's very early on, and you don't want a lot of the opposing rocks in front of yours.
Another nice draw here on sheet C. Going to end up with 2 rocks for Clay right in the 4-foot. Kevin's going to attempt to get rid of at least one of them.
Now, the guys on sheet C seem to have warmed up to this ice really quickly. Like, they're making really fantastic shots even in the second end.
So there's possible double there. Those 2 rocks. If you get it on the nose or just across the nose, which is open, it will make the double. Over on B, we have a draw attempt, I think, around the guard or through the port, one of the 2.
I think it's a draw, but I could be wrong just by the way he called it. It looks a little heavy. And it's on the yellow, so Sean Mayne's going to take advantage of that.
And Sean should be sitting 2 at this point. And the double was made here on sheet C very nicely.
Very nice. This game on sheet C has just been so proficient. It's only an end and a half in, so it's very nice to see.
Now we're going to have a little run back here on sheet C. Run A, it looks like Mark is sitting shot. But Matt makes a little tap.
Right below, yeah, on the back.
On the back, he says.
Should be right there.
All right, can we find out what 7 or 9?
There it is.
Shouting people. Or is it up
Here,
We got
want
it.
this? You got it? Having a little issue with our monitors here in the warm room, so we're trying to get those to work.
You're on the early project. You're on at 7.
And on sheet C, the run back attempt a little wide and goes right on by. Over on sheet A. Again, Matt is yellow and sitting shot. Mark's trying to remove it, but I think it's going to catch the guard. It is. So Matt is sitting first and third, and he's going to remove that second shot rock of Mark Mooney and try to sit 3 without the hammer.
A lot of rocks in the house as compared to last end where they had a lot of rocks out in front of the house.
That is true.
Sheet B has changed a little bit. We had a couple of ticks and sits, and Mayne is now sitting 3 at the moment, but we've got a long way to go yet.
Sheet C, it looks like we're trying to throw a guard or a draw here to negate that run back.
Sheet B, the shot rock just got taken out, which reduces Mayne to 2, but the shooter goes out and gives him an opportunity to draw behind and put the shot rock in an even better position.
Now here on sheet C, we had a nice draw down on top of the yellow rock. Again, Kevin without the hammer this end, up 2-0. And we're going to try to make a double attempt here on those 2 yellow ones.
Well, that's a lot of weight.
Barbaroni. It's curling. Sweepers are on it hard.
You might have to play off your own red here.
He might just take himself out.
Oh, that's a shame.
The shooter does stay. It gives a chance for Kevin here to throw a good guard on those 2 yellow rocks at the top of the 4-foot. Again, sheet C is the second event final. Sheet B is the first event final. Sheet A is the third event final.
Team Mayne missed the draw on the last shot, just went through the house, so gives it a chance for the Broomstones team to kind of capitalize here. They're going to go with a hit and possibly a roll. And they're going to hit and roll to the front of the house. And I believe they're counting 1 right now.
That is a problem. That is an issue.
Meanwhile, Sheet A just has a ton of granite in the house. I can't even tell you what's going on over there.
Right now, it's Mark Mooney sitting shot in the back 8 foot. And then Matt Gallegos is sitting second, third, and possibly 4th shot. So Mark's going to take out the yellow second shot rock at the top 8. And he's going to flash it and take himself out. Oh, no, he won't buy that one as well. So,
meanwhile, in Sheet C, they just threw a stone that kind of split the house. The massive stones in the 4 foot have now kind of spread out. It's now 3 yellow because of the way they threw that stone, but now the double would be virtually non-existent. But at the same time, it makes it harder to guard.
if you could throw it hard enough, there's actually a possible triple there. If you make one of the doubles, so he's going to try to make that double. The rock next to the broom should go up the sheet as you're looking at the house here on your monitor. Shooter will come over and take out the other yellow. So it's a possible triple.
This is going to be a very interesting shot. We're on to skip rocks rather on B. Nothing major to report right now, but I think this shot on C is really going to be interesting. Oh, the shot on B did not go as planned, and Mayne is now still sitting 2. It looks like 2 to me. And he's getting ready to go throw his first rock. So we're at the skip rocks on B, and yellow is sitting 2 right now. But let's see how this works out with Steve Clay over here on C. He's getting ready to deliver, and this is a fascinating shot.
Let me give you the overhead view here on C so you can see the actions of the rocks as they come into the house.
Weight's good. It's got plenty of weight to do this double/triple.
I think it's going to over curl. Yes, it does.
Ooh, but he gets the 1.
He did hit that just slightly thinner, a little bit less of the rock, and I think that shot was there.
But as you're watching it, if he had hit that thinner, you can definitely see how the rocks would have gone the way you were describing and really provide an opportunity for a triple.
Yes, indeed.
We have a conference going on Sheet B because Sean Mayne is trying to decide how he's best going to work this out. The rock that is impeding on him in terms of points is right next to his rock and through a very narrow port. So he'd have to nose this, and even if he does nose it, he's got the counter in the back, and he would risk injuring that. So they're giving this a lot of thought over here on B.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he's sitting 1 or 2. The Yellowstone at the top 12 is definitely outcounting the red, but I'm not sure those 2 stones that are separated by 11 feet are actually which one's first or second. So is the top red second shot or is the top yellow second shot?
I mean, you always could just draw in from either side right now, but you may well be saving that for your last shot, no?
Well, the problem with leaving the red one there, it's pretty easy to tap it. It's only going to move a couple of feet and be shot. So I think he decided on a guard on the red one,
which makes me think he thinks he's 2.
And over on sheet C, it looks like Matt Gallegos is sitting at least 4.
Wow.
And his last rock, I believe, is on the way, and he's throwing a guard.
Red does have the hammer here.
On sheet A.
Yep. And that's going to count, I think, for 5, depending on what red does here. Red's got to cut this down.
It's definitely 4 at this point. Not quite sure if it's 5 or not, but Matt is...
It's close.
So Mark Mooney is going to have to make a shot against at least 4 to get his 1.
So before you switch over to another camera angle, what do you do here? You're giving him 4. What's your shot here to cut him down or to take this end?
I think you have to throw the draw between the yellow rock in the top 12 that's just by the center line and the red rock that's up there outside the 8 foot in the 12 in the 12 foot. So
I mean, because even if you come up a little short and you're in the 8 foot there, you're cutting him down to 1.
Right.
But if you get into the 4 foot, you're going to be taking 1.
Right. So I think that's the call based on where he's putting the broom. And he's going to throw the draw. I mean, the takeout is really not there on the rock in the back 4 foot because it's mostly buried. It's probably 3/4 under the guard.
Meanwhile, over on sheet B, Shawn Mayne did try to throw the guard, and it did not come over enough. And he's shaking his head, talking to his vice, so he's pretty upset with himself right now. And they are still, it looks like, going to try the tap up, like you described, to get into the house, into the counting rather.
Yeah, they're going to try to tap up this red rock. Did not see what the end result here was on sheet C.
I'm stuck in this guy. Really bad.
So Kevin did steal on sheet C because yellow was going first here.
We'll update
score
you the
for you
score
in a second as soon as they hang it up on the scoreboard. Over on sheet A, Mark Mooney's draw coming into the house. Looks a little heavy. It's going to stop for, and I think that's a steal of 2 over there on sheet A.
I think it is. I'll have to see when they post the score, but I think you're right.
Looks like a steal of 2. Sheet B, we had that tap attempt, and it actually didn't curl, and it goes through the port. And
does the job either way.
4 foot. It's definitely shot.
Oh, Sean's thinking about the double here. He's wondering if he can double that stone in the 12 foot into the 4 foot, clear it all out, and possibly be sitting 3 with the shooter sticking around. It's a very aggressive shot.
Yeah, this is Sean's last rock.
This is the hammer.
So he'd like to score more than 1.
Absolutely. That's the whole reason he blanked the end.
We do have a question on the chat. Which sheets are which finals? Sheet A is the 3rd event. Sheet B is the first event. No, sheet A is the 2nd event.
2nd event. B is first.
B is the first event. C is the 3rd event.
Right. And again, thank you everybody who's joining us today. We see we're up to 20 some odd viewers.
20 people now?
Well, it's because it's cold outside. I mean, a lot of these folks would love to come down to the club, but it's just too darn cold.
But our bar is open.
That is a great point. Ooh, he stole 2 over here on C. It is 4-0.
So Kevin is up over Clay on sheet C 4-0 after 2. Sheet A, Matt Gallegos did steal 2 over there, so he's up 3-0 over Mark Mooney in the 2nd event final. Shawn Mayne still trying to figure out exactly what he wants to do. This is his last rock. Once he throws it, we'll switch back to the scoreboard view so you can see all the sheets.
He's delivering right now. A lot of weight. This is definitely takeout weight.
Takeout. Got to get past the guard.
Oh, it's going to be close.
Nice. No, not quite
Oh, it's going to cut them to 1, but he will not get the points. He will cut them to 1, though, on a great attempt.
That was very close.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that was, if he had gotten that stone out another 6 inches, he probably would have taken 3. So he allows a steal of 1 in the second, and he goes down 1-0, but he retains hammer. Oh, he's got his hand on his hip. I hate that body language from him.
Over here on sheet C, it looks like Kevin is shot at this point, top 4. And second shot is for Clay in the back, 8 foot. Over in sheet A, just the one yellow rock in the house. There's a center line guard out there, both belonging to Matt Gallegos. And Matt's going to cover up that rock that's almost fully in the 8 foot over there. It looks like center line guard on its way over there on sheet B for the first rock, that end. Sheet C.
Oh, we've got interesting setup on sheet C. Got a couple yellow rocks already in.
And we're trying to make a takeout, I think, on shot rock, and it looks like it's over curling. And it's a little light as well.
Ooh, is that moving? That moves a lot more than they anticipated.
He might have been trying to draw down to that yellow rock. Ends up sitting in the 8 foot, about the tee line. So red is at least 2 and 3 at this point. We'll see what Kevin decides to do here with his shot rock. I think he's going to draw down to the back red possibly, or take out the back red. So we had a nice centerline guard on sheet B. And I think a call was for either a draw into the house or a corner guard, but ends up in the house.
Did you see it? It's really good. Not been physically there, but he wants to do it.
Shots on its way on sheet C. Looks like a little draw tap. Got to curl a little bit, but the weight's pretty good.
The last one curled so significantly, I think they called a little extra ice here. And it's going to come in nicely at the end.
And sit right in the button.
And he's going to go after it, but I mean, there's a definite jam possibility with that red in the back.
Yeah, if he gets a little bit across the nose, it should go past the red in the back. Actually, if he hits it nose, it would go back onto the red, and then the red would jam on the yellow at the back 12. So that's not a bad play either.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. Here it comes, a lot of weight.
Gonna hit it too high and ends up taking out the red and the yellow at the back of the house.
Wow. This game on sheet C has really played inside the 4 foot so far.
Pretty much, yes.
As opposed to the other 2 sheets. I mean, sheet A has just been conglomerations of stones either in front of or inside the house. Sheet B has been a game of like almost stone elimination. Sheet C has just been like everybody gets to the 4 foot.
And we had a takeout attempt over there by Emily on sheet B, and it goes wide. Who is it? No, B.
And then you just won't have to play.
Rimkus is going to try to tap up his red shot, the rock that's just in the 8 foot. Sheet C, we had a takeout attempt. I think that goes a bit wide. Sheet A, Matt Gallegos sitting 2 again without the hammer.
Over on sheet B, it looks like red just put another stone in the house, but Sean Mayne senses a double.
Here's a double there. Nose hit will make the double.
And Nigel's an excellent
Rimkus is
shooter.
shot. Red rock is shot, and the yellow stone for Sean his second shot.
I think Broomstones over on Sheep B was going for a guard there and it just drifted into the house. Now it's going to give Nigel an opportunity to get the double.
And he makes it
And he nails it.
successfully. And saves the shooter, so Sean's sitting 2 with the hammer here.
Shockingly, a pro nutmeg crowd behind Sheet B.
Over in Sheet A, Mark tried to draw and it just touched the guard and floated into the top of the 4-foot, so Matt's asking for a takeout on that from Katie McKinley. Sheet A is the battle of 2 teams that will be playing in the mixed playdowns up in Rochester.
When's that
coming up
happening?
in about a month.
Excellent. This is a great event for mixed teams getting ready to go down to things like playdowns and nationals. It's the timing of it's just fantastic.
So successful takeout over on Sheet A. And Mark's going to try that draw again. Patty Hefner with her second rock, I believe.
Yes. Yeah, after this is skip rocks for red.
And we got a takeout on its way here on Sheet C. Trying to get rid of that red rock in the 4-foot. Sheet B, Sean's trying to get rid of the shot rock that's in the 4-foot as well.
As long as it's by that guard, it's good. It's by the guard. That's a beautiful shot. That's 2 great shots by Nigel Lucas. Back-to-back really on-point shots on B.
That set up a double if Rimkus wanted to attempt that. I think he just called, let's draw down to this yellow one. Sheet C, we have a takeout here from Barbaroni.
Line looks really good.
And I believe that's going to leave Clay sitting 4.
As we go to shot rocks. Skip rocks.
Yes, indeed. It's 2 red rocks in the 4-foot and 2 in the 8-foot. So
We got Matt the Pineapple Gallegos over on A, getting ready to deliver his rock.
So again, Clay is down 4-0 at this point, but is currently sitting 4 with the hammer.
That'd be a nice evener.
And Sheet B, it looks like there was a really good draw made right behind the center guard. And totally buried. Sean's asking Kathy Morley to clean up that center guard. That should be a good peel. Sort of the guard rolls the shooter over, actually covers up the far outside rock in the 12-foot.
Well, if you're Sean, you're going to get 2 or 3 out of this end. That outside shot might come into play.
Kevin's going to make a takeout here.
Oh, it looks wide.
Oh, I think it overcurled.
I think it did.
And it just went right between those 2 red rocks in the 4-foot, so.
So looking at that setup, you're down 4, Jeff. You got to guard something here, right?
Yeah, you could throw it top 8 and sit 5. And even if he makes the double, you're going to have some kind of shot for 4 at the end, so.
Meanwhile, over on B, it looked like they called for a guard, but they're a little heavy. It's kind of hard to see where they ended up. They might have set up a double.
There is a double there. It's not an easy double. You can't really hit between the 2 rocks because you would end up, the red would jam on that yellow rock that's on the tee line in the 8-foot. So I think he's going to try to hit it thin on the outside.
And Kathy's coming with plenty of weight on this shot. Shot coming into view momentarily.
It's going to over curl, and it is going to get one of them and roll away, but it's going to leave that red rock shot in the 4 foot.
Meanwhile, over on C, Steve Clay is getting ready to take his shot. It looks like he's doing exactly what you suggested. He's going to try and curl into the 8 foot, protect his shot rock, and get to 5 stones counting.
And his rocket's on its way. It might be a drop heavy. Sweepers are not really doing it. It is heavy. It might go right through.
It's going to nick it.
It's going to move the red rock, and so he is sitting 5.
And Matt over on sheet A just delivered his last rock, and now there's 4 yellow rocks in play.
So Mark has to throw. Is this Mark's last rock?
Yeah, this is his hammer. This is Mooney's hammer.
First.
Is it?
Oh, I don't know if that red rock's on B, I guess.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's a B rock. So yeah, this is his hammer.
So Mark has a draw against 4 again, similar to last end when he had a draw against 4 and he gave up a steal at 2. This time it looks, again, he needs to get to the 4 foot to count.
Shots away. It looks good, but the sweepers are on it.
Sweepers are on it hard.
We were just talking about that.
Sweepers are on it hard. Mark right behind him, trying to encourage them. And sweepers are going hard. Is it going to get there?
It's going to cut him down.
I don't think it is.
No, it's going to be short. You're absolutely right. Looks like 4 more for yellow.
So Matt Gallegos steals 4 here in the third end to go up 7-0.
Meanwhile, over here
Mark
on
Mooney.
C. Oh, he doesn't like that shot at all.
Kevin was trying to make a takeout or a draw or something and ends up just skating through the house. So Steve Clay is going to have a draw for 6.
Wow.
If he hits his full, he's got 6.
There's our overhead of sheet C. Currently counting 5 and hammer about to come. So a draw for 6 that will completely change that game around.
Absolutely. Sean Mayne's throwing his first rock over on sheet B just to keep you guys up to date. And it looks like he's just going to nudge the guard and go out of play.
So red is shot behind that guard in the 4 foot.
Meanwhile, here comes Steve Clay's shot.
We got our draw for 6. He does have backing if he is a little heavy. There's a lot of red rocks that can stop his draw.
I mean, you really can't kill this unless you take out 3 rocks. It does look heavy.
Sweepers are on it hard. They need to get to the 8 foot to count 6. It looks like the weight's fine.
Yeah, why are they on it so hard?
Yeah, they're just making sure.
Oh, they're making sure, and they are into the 8. And that is going to be a 6 spot for red over here on C.
And we're doing the wave back here. So 6-4 now on sheet C. Clay over Kevin.
And that's pretty funny.
Whose last name we continued to not say because we've gotten it wrong too many times.
Right. And that's pretty funny. The red team had wasted no time putting up the 6 score. Excited they were as getting that big of an end. So we have a brand new game over here on C. Meanwhile, on B, we're getting the second rock from their skip on red. Broomstones. Rimkus is getting ready to deliver his last rock. And from Petersham.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't say Petersham.
No, Petersham.
What's that?
Petersham.
Petersham.
Yes.
Okay, I'm working on it, Petersham. Please don't be offended. It's not my intention that I keep botching your name, but
We could just do the town next door, which is Athol.
What?
The town next to Petersham is Athol. Athol.
I'm not even going to try that one because the stone's underway, which is a convenient distraction for me. Oh, he looks like he's right on that yellow. That's going to be nice.
It says sit 2 and a nice roll into the 4-foot. So
Sean really doesn't have much of a choice other than to sit inside of there and just get the 1. Try to tie this game up.
He's got to get to the nose for sure. If he hits it on the outside of that rock that's touching the button, he's not gonna stay for shot. So he's got to get to nose or just inside nose to get his 1. There's no double there. That guard is in the way of the double. And once this shot is complete, we'll switch back to the window view so you can see the other 2 sheets.
He's coming. He's got a fair amount of weight. The sweepers are on it.
Line looks pretty good, as long as it doesn't overcurl. Oh,
it did.
It does. And it's going to roll out, so that's going to be a steal of 1 for Rimkus on sheet B.
So that's going to give him a 2-0 lead over Nutmeg and Mayne. But Mayne retains the hammer. He can get right back in this. He just needs to get there. All 3 ends on sheet B have been really close. Last shot kind of like where things end up. You know, it's not like any one team has really dominated the other over here. So this is a really great game.
And again, on sheet C, we had a complete turnaround in that game. Kevin was up 4-0, and Steve Clay drops a 6-bomb on him in the 3rd end to make that game 6-4. Sheet A, again, we have Matt Gallegos sitting 2 without the hammer. Mark Mooney has the hammer for the 3rd end in a row, I believe, and is currently down 7-0. Sheet B, it looks like we're throwing a center guard. And sheet C, Kevin with the hammer's got a rock in the back 8-foot, and he's trying to guard it or at least draw in front of it somewhere. Going to come up a little light and not quite covering up that back rock. I think Steve Clay can see that and take it out. No, he's changing his mind and asking for Bob Baroni to come down to it. Sheet A, Matt Gallegos is trying to eliminate Mark Mooney rock and ends up jamming on a rock in the back 4-foot. So Mark is sitting shot. That yellow rock could be raised back onto that or run back onto that. Rimkus got a center guard. Oh, Bob Baroni makes a nice draw down in front of that yellow rock on sheet C here. Can be removed, but it would need to cross the nose so it doesn't jam. Sheet B, Rimkus called for the draw around his center guard. Looks like it's going to be a little bit light. No, he left it short because it was going to be open. I believe we burned a rock on sheet C because the sweepers were just walking it down. Sheet B, Sean Mayne's going to clean up some of these guards.
Biological Museum? Oh, but it's closing, so it's only open 10 to 6 each day.
I mean, my flight lands at 4:50 a.m.
It's only open 2 to 8.
And sheet C, we have another draw coming down for those rocks in the back of the house, rubs off the guard and stops in a very good spot.
I'm assuming some of these guys come over the
She'd be, I thought, no, Sean was through a draw to the outside 8-foot right on the tee. Rimkus is going to clean up the one that's in the 12-foot.
I don't really know what that means. I know you keep saying it on
Probably one of the inside roll there didn't get it, so the rock, the shooter rolls out. Sean's hitting 1 with the hammer here in the 4th end on sheet B.
Visitors to the museum will encounter 56 specimens belonging to 17 different kinds of whale, 1 specimen taken from a rogue polar bear, 36 specimens belonging to 7 different kinds of seal and walrus, and 115 specimens originating from 20 different kinds of land mammal. Including specimens from Homo sapiens.
Broadcasters have been sent cake.
And my fellow broadcaster, Britt, listen, just brought me some cake. How nice.
Yeah, so if one of us gets really quiet for a few minutes, it's because we're eating cake.
You know, we have interns for this.
We do.
We should have gotten an intern to get us some cake.
All right, so while I was gone, it looks like we had some developing ends over here. We got some stones in the house on C. Bunch of different stones over on A.
Oh, yeah, I didn't check, but I should be okay. Yeah, I'll double check. Yeah.
So right now, only one of the matches is really, I don't want to say out of control because that's the wrong word, but there's a larger lead. I mean, we got a 6-4 match on C. We got 2-0 on B. And then we got the 7-0 going on A. But as we just saw on C, a 6-ender can happen like that, and all of a sudden you're back into it. So we're watching that match still. It looks like we're in for a good morning of curling. Over on B, Mayne is going to try and clear out the front. It's been a pretty consistent move by Broomstones to cloud up the front there, and it's worked for them so far through 3 ends. So it's not shocking that they're continuing to do it, or shocking that Sean's going to continue to try and open it up.
Gets the one guard out of the way, and the other guard rolls just across the top of the yellow. Over here on C, we had a takeout that went slightly wide, and now Steve Clay's got a chance to throw a guard on that rock that's in the button.
Looks a little hot for a guard.
Yeah, it's definitely coming into the house. It might actually end up tapping this red rock back a little bit. And it does.
It leaves him sitting 3, but the way those stones are angled with the guards, it would be very difficult to get a double out of that because of the guard way out front.
Yeah, there is the guard out front that covered up half of that rock that's in the top 4 foot.
Like I was like making guys take pictures and like put your legs up and like whatever. Yes.
Meanwhile, on B, Sean Mayne continues to try to open up his house a little bit. He's got the rock in, but he's got a lot of stones out in front. He does not like that. Sheet A has a number of red and yellow stones in the 8 and 12 foot, but nothing in the center, and there's a lot of room to work with, so that's a developing end as well.
And I can report that the cake is very good.
It really is. And the rock on B does open up one of the 2 guards out front, and the other one will stay in play way out on the outside as a guard.
So Rimkus is going to remove the Sean Mayne rock that's in the 8 foot right on the tee line. Over here on sheet C, Kevin had a nice draw come in just at the top of the 4 foot.
Oh, he misses and he nudges it in. And undercover to boot. That leaves a problem for Sean Mayne because he probably wanted to get rid of that red stone, but he's going to think twice about it with a yellow rock sitting right behind it.
There is room, but you do have to be careful. He's gonna hit the red rock in the top 12 anyway.
Right. Just all about the angle here. Just got to make sure you don't nose this.
Over here on C, red is still shot, so Steve Clay is going to throw a guard on those rocks in the 4 foot. Again, it looks a little heavy.
Over on sheet B, Sean Mayne misses everything.
This is going to be on sheet C right into the top of the 8 foot. A quick look here at sheet C. Red is shot for sure. I believe yellow is second. That would be Kevin.
Mm-hmm.
Using up that plastic and filling our dumps up with that stuff.
Yeah, I think they're hitting the boat.
So now yellow is trying to figure out how they get 2 out of this. I mean, there's a lot of wreck potential. What do you do here, Jeff? I mean, do you try to drive your yellow back and take one of the reds out? But the angle is such a way that you could potentially lose the yellow you have and end up making things worse.
I don't think you're going to throw much weight. If you're going to move the yellow, you're throwing back 8 backline weight at it just to tap that red one back into the 8 foot. And that would leave yellow shot.
Mm-hmm. It looks like they're looking at the double though. They're looking at that yellow in the top half of that red in the top half of the house, but they're worried about how it would impact the yellow. Wow, this is a very difficult situation.
Maybe another look at this. So they're talking about maybe doing something with that red that's in the 8 foot, top of the 8 foot.
That's my middle name.
I mean, the last thing you want to do is impact your yellow and cause some sort of problem there.
You'd have to hit it really thin to drive the yellow back onto the red. I don't think that's the. I like just throwing backline weight at the yellow rock and moving it back, and it should be shot.
And you could possibly also chip that red out just enough that it's outside of the 4 foot.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you get to the nose of the yellow, your yellow is actually going to roll in toward the button, and your shooter's going to stay right there, and you might have a chance on your second to get your 2. So I'm not sure what their call was. Not a lot of broom, so it's not backline weight for sure.
We'll see what happens here, just to keep you up to date on what's going on, because obviously we want to stay with C. This is a great shot. It looks like Sean Mayne's trying to draw to get to 2 over on his sheet, and we've got the hammer coming down for red. I think it's a hammer. And it looks like red's going to take 2 over on A, if I'm reading that correctly.
I think it's 3.
3? You're right. It is absolutely 3. So that's going to cut the lead to 7-4.
So Kevin ends up hitting a guard.
Oh.
And really doesn't change the situation.
Is there anything worse in curling than when you spend 10 minutes figuring out the perfect shot and then you hit a guard? I mean, seriously, you just feel so defeated.
Either that or you make the shot. lovely shot, and then somebody comes right behind you and takes the stone out.
Right, that too.
Or you sweep like mad, like crazy people, get it where you want, and then somebody takes it out.
So I just got a commentary from somebody watching saying, we're not sure who the commentators are, so I'm waving. Jeff is now waving too, so that's us over in the corner. Thank you for watching. So they're still thinking about what they're going to do here on Sheet B, because it looks like Sean Mayne got himself to be second shot, so he might be sitting 2. So they're talking on B. So meanwhile on C, we still have a lot of stones.
Yeah, the situation in the house really didn't change with Kevin's first rock. This is Steve Clay's last, and he's changing the shot from the far end, which always an interesting concept, where he's just trying to point out what they're trying to do. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think he's actually changing the shot and explaining it to his sweepers at the same time. Well, he's got what he likes now.
Well, Steve is shot here. Red is shot on sheet C, so I think he's throwing a guard.
I would think so. I mean, there's not a lot of room for a guard if he's trying to guard his yellow. It's almost like he's trying to guard the tap up of that red that's biting 8-foot.
No, and he's a little wide there.
And a little heavy for a guard. I might have misread the shot.
This needs to curl and stop.
It's slowing.
It's getting there. The curl's coming. Get a little bounce off that rock at the top 12 foot.
And that's exactly what it's going to do.
It works. Over on B, it looks like
he's toying for a tap up here. But it's going to be heavy. All right, so she sweeps it out to be second stone, but Sean Mayne will still be sitting 1 with his hammer to come. Now, do you go after that stone and try to sit for 3? Can you? Can he get to it?
Let's take a look at the...
Can he get down there, get that red out, and sit 3?
That's pretty hard.
He would need to move it back into the 12. So he doesn't really need to take it out so much. He needs to move it about, what, a foot?
Yeah, but it's really buried, so...
Yeah, this is I think that's what he's actually calling, though, or it might just be a straight-up draw.
It's 2-0 there, so, I mean, if he gets his 2 and ties it up, that's pretty good.
Absolutely.
On sheet C, there were lots of granite flying around, but red
I think it ended up being 2 red.
1. I think it's 1 red.
Was it 1? Okay.
Not 100% sure.
All right, here comes Sean Mayne's rock over here on B. They're sweeping, and he is going to flash the house and take 1.
So sheet A, we have Matt Gallegos up 7-3 over Mark Mooney. That's the second event final. Sheet B is now 2-1 with Rimkus up over Sean Mayne. That's the first event final. And third event final is, there was definitely a steal by Clay.
It was 1 or 2, I'm not sure.
1 or 2, so that'll put him up by 3 or 4.
Got to wait for them to post.
Once they put the score up, we'll let you know. Again, on sheet C, Clay started that game down 4 to nothing after the first 2 ends, and ended up with taking 6 in the third to take the lead.
And then a steal on top of it to increase that lead a little bit.
So Sean gets his center line guard up on sheet B.
Their whole thing is they tailgate. You know, they're not
Sheet A, we're clearing guards. And sheet C, there was asked for a draw into the house on the outside, and just get into the 12 foot.
That sounds like there should be police involvement at some point.
Was that every professional team
What's up? No, not yet. I have one.
Corner guard going up on sheet B. Rimkus. Still haven't posted the score on C, but we'll get to that as soon as they throw it up on the scoreboard. I think we had a center line guard attempt on sheet C, which is going to be heavy and go to the back 4. Sean's going to come around his center guard on sheet B. Weight looks really good. Just stops in time, maybe?
He's looking at it.
Hard to tell from the overhead. It's close.
Both skips are going to take a look at it. That tells you how close it is.
I guess they decide it's out.
Nice.
No.
Nice setup for Mayne on B, though.
Yeah. Kick out on sheet C over curls.
And sheet A, we trade guards. Still no score update on sheet C.
Yes, they weren't as excited as they were after getting the 6.
Absolutely. I mean, the moment that 6 hit, they were so excited that could not get the tile out of that rack fast enough. But
Look at one more time.
Oh, the next table.
so meanwhile, let's take a look and see what we got. We got sheet B. We got Nigel coming to deliver. It looks like Sean is going to try and tap up. Get a wide open house over on sheet C. And sheet A, we have our traditional mishmash of stones that's happened that entire game over there. A lot of stones in front of the house. And each their own way. Each of these games has been very different but very interesting. You got the big scoring game over here on C. You've got the 1 point and end game over here on B. And on A, you've just got a game with a lot of stones in play. Really very different kind of games, but very interesting to watch, each in their own right.
And we have another takeout that overcurls on C, and the score has been hung up, and it's now 8-4 Clay over Kevin, whose last name we still can't pronounce.
But given the way this game has gone back and forth, there's no such thing as a safe lead on C.
No, not at all.
I mean, it's funny because I'm looking at B. I've got a total of 3 points scored through 4 ends. Meanwhile, over on C, I've got a total of 12 points scored in the same period of time. If I were a betting man, this would be an over-under nightmare.
And we kind of got a guard up on sheet C to cover up that red rock that's in the back 8 foot. We're on B. Sean made a tap on the last shot and now throws a guard on that rock, which is just half in the 8 foot.
Oh, he's going to get by the guard on C. He is. Nice shot.
This time he's got it. And a nice little rolls behind those two rocks in front of the house. And there's a port there, but it's not easy to get through.
Getting some nice curl on C today, too. It's really nice to see stones moving and making the players really think about their shots.
Over on B, we had a takeout of a guard, which ended up pushing one of them into the house. So Sean is actually sitting 2 without the hammer. And I believe he's going to throw a guard on that one that's in the 4-foot.
Absolutely. I think Sean has come to realize this is not going to be a high-scoring game, and is going to do everything he can to protect every single point he can.
And over on A, looks like Matt Gallegos has a double of 2 red rocks that are in the 4-foot.
The guard on B is going to go long, so Sean's going to switch it up and try to call it to the outside. It's not going to quite get there, but it did overcurl more than he wanted to. But it's still out front of the house, and he can use it.
And sheet A, Matt does make the double. Ends up putting his rock at the top of the 4-foot, and I believe he's sitting at least 3, possibly 4.
I'll go take a look at that guy.
We're going to send Britt over to look at the monitor. Our far-end camera, we don't have the overhead on the streaming.
Wireless mics for the win. Oh, wow. Yeah, there is at least 3 yellow, possibly 4. That stone that's behind the guards may actually be biting. It's kind of close, but I'm going to say it's 3 yellow right now over here on A.
And yellow does have the hammer, that's Matt, so I believe this is Mark Mooney's last rock, and again, he's looking at a bunch against. So
yeah, this is Red's last rock right now. I'll hang behind the sheet just so I can kind of give you the bird's eye view, and it looks like he's going to go right after the shot rock on this one.
Over in B, Sean's trying to replace the guard on this rock that's in the top 4.
Oh, Mooney, I think, came out a little wider than he wanted.
Past the guard.
He's going to nudge it.
And roll out.
And he's going to leave a draw for 4. Well, a draw for at least 3. That front stone looks like it's biting from my point of view, but it could be outside the house.
And Sean does get a rock on the center line on sheet B, but it's in the house, so Rimkus is going to hit that. Possible double there. We have a draw on its way on sheet C. It looks pretty good. Weight looks nice. A little deep, but they're sweeping to get it behind the guard, and it is fully buried. Rimkus does make the double on sheet B. This hit shot just biting the top of the 4-foot. Oh, no, he didn't make the double. I'm sorry. Didn't see that yellow rock back there. He gets rid of the one that was in the 8-foot. So Sean is still shot.
Matt's hammer is on the way. It just needs to get into the house, and it looks like it's going to get there easily. So the question is it 3 or 4? It's at least 3 and possibly 4 for the man in the pineapple garb. I'm really tempted while I'm standing over here in between ends to go out there and ask him about the pineapples.
Go for it.
I'm going to do it. Wireless mics. We're going to go ask about the pineapples.
And
he's got to call a guard here, so I'll wait for him to throw his first shot.
So it was a score of 4 there. So it's now 11-3 over on sheet A. Matt Gallegos over Mark Mooney. Now I have a feeling that's after the 5th end, so I have a feeling they're going to play the 6th and then come inside and enjoy a beverage.
Can't blame them.
Over on B, Sean was trying to throw a guard, but it looks heavy, and he's going to end up No, it's actually fine. Got a corner freeze to that rock that's in the 8-foot. Jack Miller's over here breaking things.
Ooh, that one's going to go a little deep.
Oh, good job, Jack. And
hey, Matt. All right, the folks in the war room and on the broadcast really want to know, what's up with the pineapples, man?
They're a tropical fruit.
Tropical fruit?
Yes. No, it's, we went to a wedding this summer, and this was my wedding outfit, and I figured it translated well to curling.
Excellent. Good curling to you. Thank you so much. Okay, so it turns out this is leftover from a wedding he went to, and he just really liked the outfit, so he brought it tonight. That's as good an answer as I can expect on a question like that. So the mystery is answered. The pineapples are left over from a wedding.
There you go. So we're still discussing on sheet B what we're trying to get done here. Give me a quick look at that house. Sean tried to throw a guard on his yellow rock that's in the top 4 foot. Ended up going a little deep, but set up a really nice angle on the red. So you can't make a double run back here, I don't think.
So these are the moments where I ask myself, WWJD, what would Jeff do? I mean, I personally would go for the draw because you've got a wide open port to the 4 foot and the button, but what do you think?
Well, it's his first, and you got to get it. You got to get it buried if you're going to draw to the 4 foot, because Sean is just going to take it out.
True.
He's gonna try to make some kind of play here on the yellow-red combination, back on the yellow at the top of the 4. With that broom, I expect it to be pretty good weight, normal takeout weight.
This should be interesting.
Sheet C, we still have that red rock for Steve Clay buried in the back 4 foot. And a couple of guards. Looks like Kevin's going to make a run back here, or attempt to run back here with his first on that rock that's just off the center line. Here comes Rimkus' rock, and it is takeout weight.
Yeah, absolutely.
Looks like it's
Plenty.
wide,
He's not
though.
happy.
It's
He's
wide.
not happy with it.
It's going to miss everything. So that's going to give Sean a chance to throw another guard on that rock in the top 4 foot. Over on sheet C, Kevin's run back didn't quite get the angle correct and ends up going through and missing. So Steve's got a chance to throw another guard here and completely clog up the front of the house, and not going to have much chance to for Kevin to score. Pretty sure Sean's going to throw a guard here with his last on sheet B.
I mean, a steal here would tie this game up after, what are we in the fourth end? Fifth end. Fifth end. The way this game is going on B, that'd be a tremendous win for Mayne. I like the shot. Looks like it's got the right weight.
Looks a little heavy.
Might be. I think it's going to slow down for him at the end. Here it comes. Oh, that's gorgeous.
Yeah, we got overlapped guards, so there's no run back there at this point. And
I mean, you could try to clear them out, but you're going to risk your red rock in the process.
yeah, last rock for Rimkus. He's really only shot he has is to draw the button,
Absolutely.
and that's what he's calling.
Well, as the old expression goes, if you can't take away every shot, take away the easy ones.
Right.
And that run back was the easy shot, I think. So now that that's gone, he's got to make it's still a very makeable draw, but there's no real plan B for it. You either hit this or you don't.
Right.
And he's basically got to get a piece of the button or really solid 4 foot.
Yes. And over on sheet C, Steve Clay did make a guard. It kind of rubbed off one on the outside, but Kevin's going to try to run back again. That's about the only thing he has. Rimkus draw is on its way. Sweepers are on it right away.
I don't think
it's
don't think it's got weight.
Because broomstones,
Sweepers are on it hard all the way.
Locker room from college, you know?
Oh, they're working it. If this gets there, it's because you're sweepers.
Going to be close.
I think it's one red.
Except when the juniors, you got to go up there and get the juniors up in the video game.
Both devices are looking at it.
Yeah, the juniors, they go.
And I believe they're going to measure. They are going to measure.
They are going to measure. In a championship match with 1 point on the line, you've got to measure this guy.
So Kevin missed his run back again on sheet C, so another steal of 1 for Steve Clay. So that game is now 9-4.
Wow, Clay really rebounded from a shaky 4-0 start. 9 straight points.
So 9-4 Clay over Kevin Hotaling. That's my attempt. That's my only attempt. That's what I'm going with.
What's this? I'm still looking with Kevin. Or I can't even say Petersham. Is it Petersham?
Petersham.
Petersham. Like Peter owns a ham.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Over on sheet A, we've been kind of not watching over there.
It's been a little one-sided, unfortunately. I can tell you this right now, just having been out there, both teams are having a blast. But score-wise, you would not be able to tell that.
So it was 1 red, great sweeping on that draw.
That's the Pisces, right?
Sweepers jumped on it as soon as Rimkus let it go and never looked up, just kept pounding it the entire way and got it there just enough. So 3-1 over on sheet B for Rimkus over Mayne, the first event final.
And the way things are going, they may be the last ones out there because the other 2 games are getting a little bit of a wider margin.
My brother-in-law, I used to tell my brother-in-law was...
Yeah, sheet A, they're about 2/3 of the way through their 6th end, and sheet C is just starting their 6th end.
But you got to think, if Clay steals again here, and it's 10-4 with 2 to play, they may decide to shake.
True.
I wouldn't. As long as I got a stone, I'm there. I'm a chip in a chair kind of guy.
I'm going to turn you over to Britt here for a minute.
Absolutely. So break time for Jeff. Thank you again for everyone joining us. We really appreciate it. 3 games going on right now. If you're joining us late, you have the first event final between Mayne and Petersham. No, that's wrong.
Hotaling.
Mayne and...
It is Hotaling.
Hotaling. All right, great. Thank you so much on the commentary. On the center ice. On sheet C, we've got the Nutmeg/Columbus team headed up by Steve Clay, playing up against Petersham and Kevin Hotaling. And then over on sheet A, we have Matt, who I not even try. I don't know why I can't say Gallegos, but I can't say it. Gallegos. Over there on A versus Mooney. So we've got that going on. Thank you again, everybody who's joined us today. We've got roughly 30 people watching us right now. We really appreciate it. Right now you're looking at a 3-sheet view that shows you everything because we're early on in everybody's 6th end. Do a quick score recap for you. Sheet A is 11-4 yellow, which is for Matt's team. Sheet B is a very close game. It is 3-1 through 5 in favor of Rimkus and Broomstones. And then sheet C is 9-4 in favor of Steve Clay and the Nutmeg Columbus team. So one game that's really got it's got an 8-point margin. One that's a 2-point game, and that's our first event final, so that's always fantastic. And then the C game has been really interesting in that Steve Clay has really rallied 9 unanswered points to go up 9-4. We'll see where that one goes from here. So watching all 3 games at the moment.
You go to Langley, you go to Air and Space Museum, and then in Norfolk is the...
And it's an amazing atmosphere down here and the warm room. We still have folks in the 4th and 5th event finals that happened at 9 a.m. Our main event finalist, Sean Mayne, his fiancée, is sitting right behind me, watching with intense rapture. I'm sure more wondering whether or not she has a grumpy fiancé coming home later. Yeah, or wondering if she's going to be suckered into coming down and watching any more games of curling. She loves it. But
he's going to not let me come down because he's been doing well. He might come down tonight. So.
Oh, so are you the jinx? So she just put forth a theory that Sean's had a great weekend and now she's here and she's the jinx. I think that's a convenient excuse for Sean. Jinx is only working football and baseball, in my opinion. So, and it's a really great game over here on B. So the reset B really quickly. I'll show you what's going on over here. Sheet B, this is our main event final. Red is up 3-1 at the moment. And as you can see, they have got first and second shot, but Sean throwing yellow is going to try and change something. I think he's trying to peel open the center. His second, Nigel Lucas, is an excellent takeout person. And he's going to get 2 out of this. And not really open it up per se, but get 2 and reduce the stone count to 1.
So it's his big chance to speak, right? He's talking. What is the first thing he said? If my relatives
so that's interesting right there. Back to the 3-sheet view.
Like, get out of here, you dope.
Over here on sheet C, we've got Steve Clay's team with 2 stones in the 8-foot, but yellow has 1 in the 4, and an effort to outdraw him has resulted in another guard being up. So that might actually make this game a little more interesting. If yellow could pull off a 2 or a 3 hit here, we could cut this lead to, like, say, 9-7. We might have a game here. Over here on sheet A near, we got a lot of stones in the back of the house. One sitting writing on the button. Interesting.
Did you have your jacket on?
I did.
So,
I didn't even think about it. I just took it off.
some hijinks going on in the warm room right now. It's like I said, it's a great atmosphere. If you have never been to the Nutmeg for the Golden Handle, you really should consider putting together a team and coming down next year. It's a fantastic little bonspiel. We love having outside clubs come to it. As you can tell, some of the games here are really competitive. We have just a great time with it, and we really enjoy folks coming to visit us. So please, if you've never been to Nutmeg before, the Golden Handle or the Blazing Leaves in the fall is an excellent opportunity to come and visit us. Oh, yeah. As Jane, one of our favorite bartenders and board members next door to me, has just reminded me, if you're going to come to the Blazing Leaves, you're going to have some barbecue. We have... I think the word Smoke Masters doesn't do them justice. Some amazing guys who do barbecue for us. Mikey and Lee in particular do a great job. You know, I think we're a fun club to visit. I've been to a lot of different clubs. I mean, I drove to Utica once. Sean Mayne can tell you the story of the drive to Utica. You know, if you're going to drive to Utica during curling season, just be advised there are certain roads that just close. Like they don't bother to plow, and you are likely to drive up to a wall of snow with a sign next to it that says seasonal road. So, anyway, I should actually talk about curling, seeing as I'm on the mic. We have handshakes on A. Matt Gallegos, I know I botched that, is going to win that event. I believe that is the C event final. I could be wrong about that. That might be second event. But they are shaking, and they are going to come in for some much-deserved drinks and relaxation. So we're going to go down to 2 matches active. We're going to have the main event over here on Sheet B, which is, again, a 2-point affair, and then the event over here on Sheet C, which is 9-4, but has been so high scoring, I am refusing to call it anything other than wide open. So I'm going to show you what's going on over here in Sheet C. You hear some applause coming in as the competitors from Sheet A come in. Fun match to watch, even if it didn't go exactly the way. Ooh, what a nice shot over here on C. That's going to put yellow in a spot to hold 2, and yellow really needs to take a couple points here if they want to stay in this match. So again, you hear applause. That's for our folks coming off of Sheet A. Let's take a quick look at Sheet B, our main event final. You see a couple stones out front of the house. Again, red does lead 3-1 in this game. And I'm not quite sure what they're doing here. I think this is a draw by red to try to get 2 stones counting, but I could be completely wrong. Let's see what happens here. Stones coming into play. It looks really hot to me. And it is. I'm not sure what they were trying to do here. So let's switch over to Sheet C, where we still have 1 yellow in the forefoot, and we've got 3 reds in the house, so it's counted as 1 yellow right now, and we are on to Vice Rocks. Yellow again is down 9-4 here, so we're trying to see what we can do to rectify that somewhat. What's up?
Jeff?
He took a break. Craig Steffen has just sat into the booth just to say hi and see what's going on. Let's swing back to B really quickly. Here comes a Sean Mayne Yellowstone. I think he's trying to come down to the red, and he is going to actually nick the red. But he's not going to outcount it with his shooter. And so it looks like the count's going to remain 1 red for the moment.
I don't know.
So we are... Jeff's putting the helmet back on, so to speak. So just to give a quick recap and update Jeff, Sheet A has finished. And we've got matches continuing on Sheet B and C. Go back out to the wide view of everything here.
Do you need a beverage, sir?
I'm good for the moment, but thank you, sir.
I'm going to go get myself a beverage.
That's a good idea after coming back from a break. I would do that too. So it looks like we have over here on Sheet B, we're down to Skip Rocks, but it's the first rock of Skip's rocks. And it looks like he's just going to try and draw in. So let's go to near B. Rock is on the way. It looks like draw weight to me. You guys can't see it just yet, but it should be coming into view. The sweepers are on it, which suggests to me that he might be a little lighter than he wanted to be, but now they're up. I mean, he had plenty of room on that guard. I can't imagine they were trying to sweep him by that guard, but he's going to end up short of the house. So that's going to leave Sean Mayne a port to draw. All right, so Jeff, really quick, I know you're just sitting back down, but does Sean Mayne have an option to draw through this port and do anything with that back red? Can he nudge that out and possibly be looking at 3?
He could try to get it from the outside, but you have to go pretty wide. And what happens is the outside of the sheets, you haven't thrown a lot of rocks out there, so it's pretty straight, and it's certainly going to be a little slower. So that might be hard.
Really? Not questioning that call. I'm just looking at the NFL scores, and I'm seeing there's no score in the Bills-Jaguars game. I thought it'd be 30-0 by now, but...
Yeah, I'm surprised we don't have it on the TV, actually.
There's nothing on the TV. I might go fix that after this end just because it's easier to watch there than it is on my phone.
We can get one of our interns to do that.
Yeah, we need an intern.
Hey, Ed. Ed, can you turn on the football game?
Sean Mayne's rock coming down now. This is his first rock. It looks like a draw. The weight's pretty good, but it's got a curl. Right now it's on the guards. Here it comes.
Yeah,
Sweepers are on it. He's going to get it there, but is it going to bury in a place that he can use it? No, it's going to hang out front. I mean, you'd have to come inside out if you went straight takeout out it. But it's definitely shot rock right now, so you can't really let it be. All right, so here, crazy idea, Jeff. You take out this rock as red. Let's presume your shooter doesn't stick around or it rolls way out of the edge of the 12-foot on what's the bottom side for folks who are viewing. Do you, as Sean Mayne, go after the red rock then and try to see if you can get 2 or 3 out of this?
Yeah, that's not a bad play.
We got to see, obviously, where he hits and then rolls to. I mean, if he doesn't get out of the way, then he leaves Sean very few options. A hit and stick here isn't the worst thing because of that red stone in the back of the house.
Yeah, it looks like he's thinking about a draw to the 4-foot.
Which would be even more interesting because then how do you get that out?
Right. We'll go back over to take a quick look here at sheet C. It looks like Kevin's sitting 2 with the hammer. This is his first skip stone. So he's going to possibly take out that red that's in the 8-foot or throw a draw. Now they're still discussing on B what to do. Sheet C, Kevin with his first skips rock. Looks like he is going to make the takeout on this red that's in the outside 8-foot. Looks pretty good. Line looks good. Sweepers are on and off it.
He's got it.
Going to get a little inside roll even.
That's nice. I mean, it's hittable.
It is open. Steve Clay wastes no time in saying, let's get rid of that.
But this is Steve's last shot. I mean, if Steve hits and sticks, then he leaves a hit and stick for 3. And at that point, that would make the score 9-7. So this is a very important shot. You really want to hit this and then roll out of harm's way.
Or if you could ever get inside and roll inside, that would be unbelievable.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. If you can just hit, if you can get around the front of this stone, hit, and even if you roll 3 inches, I mean, that's how tight it is there. 3 or 4 inches would make you very difficult to take out. But if you're sitting out there, you risk giving up 3 here and making this a 9-7 game.
Yeah, if he gets the inside roll here off that yellow next to the broom, that's going to be in a great spot. So we did decide what we're doing over in sheet B, but I did not see the call.
It looks like they're going to hit.
Yeah, they're going to take out that yellow. Again, if he gets a little roll behind those 2 guards on the right-hand side of the center line as you're looking at the screen.
Oh, it's super hot. He came very heavy, and he is hanging out. He might hit the guards. He is going to hit his own red guard and roll out of the way. And out of play. That's on the line. Yeah, there you go, Kat. That's on the line.
So Steve Clay did not make the takeout. Threw a lot of weight at that, so it leaves Kevin a draw for 4 here. So Kevin needs to hit the 8-foot.
So meanwhile, over on sheet B, it looks like Sean Mayne's going to call a straight-up draw. If he gets any piece of the 8-foot, he's got 2 and ties this match up after 6.
Well, Kevin with his last shot here on sheet C has a draw into the 8-foot for 4, which would make that game more manageable.
He's calling a draw, but he's using his own stone. He's going to kill.
All right, I'm behind sheet B at this point. It does look like Sean Mayne's going to call a draw here. While you call sheet C, I'll keep an eye on this.
Sweepers are on it hard for Kevin. looks good. They're just making sure. They got 8 foot front to back, so.
Sean Mayne's stone is on the way, and it looks light. I don't think he's going to get it there to get to 2. He is not. Sean Mayne is going to end up being light. He's going to take. He did. He got it. He did not get a piece of 8 foot, but he got enough of the 12 foot that he's going to get 2, and this is going to be a tied match in the 7th end over here on B.
And on sheet C, Kevin makes his draw for 4, so that game is now 9-8. Clay over Hotaling. After 6 ends. So tie score 3-3 on sheet B, first event final. Sean Mayne asking for the center guard. Rimkus will have the hammer here in the 7th. And on sheet C, Clay is up 9-8 over Hotaling in the 3rd event final. And Clay will have the hammer.
So what great matches we have finishing up here on both B and C, our main event final. And I'm going to go off headset for a second just to use the restroom. I'll be right back and leave you in the capable hands of Jeff.
So a guard thrown on C, not on the center line, but a long guard on B.
It's like a big warm thermal mat. It's so good. Like open the door, I'm like, oh yes.
A long guard for red on sheet C. Not sure what that one was. It looks like a corner guard was asked for on sheet B by Rimkus. And it's going to be a wide corner. John's going to ask for another guard, center line guard. Go around the one that's just over the hog line. Got a draw happening here on sheet C. Looks like it's going to be light. And just touch the red guard. You know, ice could be slowing down a little bit here because sheet A is done. You lose that little bit of warmth from those 8 extra bodies out there. Changes the I can change the ice a little bit, and based on the length of those guards, people either did not have enough Wheaties for breakfast or the ice is slowing down a bit. Draws on the way on both B and C. Draw on C crashes on the guard.
I keep forgetting to bring it down and play with it.
And a draw on B also crashes into the guard. Oh, just ticks it. It's going to end up going into the house behind that corner guard. That was fortunate.
Which is why we need your set over mine. Mine's just based with the original.
And it has one of the expansions is like every team.
Sean asking for another center line guard. Kevin here on sheet C is asking for a draw around those what are now corner guards. Line looks pretty good. Sweepers are on it hard, but I think the weight's all right. And we're sweeping for line. Yeah, and it ticks off. And it's going to go.
I'd love to play with you.
It was heavy, and it's going to go right out the back. And guard called on sheet B. Again, looks a little warm and wide. But it's going to roll in to be another center guard. Now Rimkus sitting 1 in the outside 12 behind that corner guard. He's going to go up and try to get rid of some of these center line guards.
This really has been a game of guards here on Sheet B.
Yeah. I like the back of it. Cool. I was like,
So they're going to clear up some of that center line guard over there on Sheet B. Got a draw happening on Sheet C. Sweeper's going hard on it. Not sure they're going to get it there, and they just do. Just sneaks into the 12-foot.
Yeah, let's look at the overhead of that. Is that in there?
That's definitely
it is.
So a quick, good sweeping, got it in there, and peel attempt on those two center line guards actually drives the one center line guard back in front of the house.
my budget can take this.
So Sean says we can be a little short for a guard, or we can come around it. Nigel Lucas with the outturn draw here.
Now, question for the experienced curler here. You're in a tie match like this, very low scoring. It's 3-3 after 6. Are you worried about stealing here? Or are you worried about just making sure they have one so you're coming home with hammer? What is your focus right now if you're Sean Mayne and the yellow team?
I don't think you go full out for the steal. I think you try for the force. Looks like Nigel's draw is going to be a little heavy. Not bad. I don't think it gets shot. The shot rock is still that red rock on the outside 12, which is covered up. Rimkus is going to get rid of that, obviously.
So are you happy giving away one here if you can do that?
Yeah. Try to get your 2 in the 8th to win.
So what is better, Jeff? Again, more experienced curler, way more experienced curler than I am. Coming home down 1 with hammer, or coming home up 1 without?
At our level, I like up 1 without.
That's fair. That's why I ask.
I have strong opinions.
And he does get the takeout, and that shooter's going to stick around in the outer 12.
So now Rimkus is set up for his 2 with the hammer on Sheet B. And our executive producer back here, Ed, has said he has strong opinions about down 1.
Oh, I agree with you, Jeff. But I also think that, there has been so much research now on it and, data collected that there's basically no level where you're not. There's teams that think otherwise, but the numbers are fairly consistent. Women's elite play, men's elite play.
Yeah,
So we're having the conversation right now. The two of our better skips are discussing right now while I'm chatting with you about the what's better, up 1, no hammer, down 1 with hammer when you're coming home in the 8th. And, Ed has pointed out that there's a lot of research on it and a lot of discussion on it. It's still a discussion point because no one can conveniently tell you. 99% of all skips will tell you this is the way to go.
Right. There are a lot of people who have a certain preference just based on what they've played forever.
Exactly. Your team makeup, your situation factors into it.
A situation where I'd rather be down 1 with there's a lot of spills where you don't play an extra end. If there's no extra end and there's some sort of skip rock or nutmeg knockout type situation.
Correct. What the tiebreaker is going to do factors into it.
In that case, why not be down 1 with the hammer, give yourself a chance to win it outright, and if not, you just go to what's basically a 50-50 shot.
So it's an interesting question, but I think what we can all agree on is that we're watching a game on Sheet B that's 3-3 after 6, and that's a great place to be as a viewer. This is just a great game to watch. And like Jeff said, I'm sorry, go ahead, Jeff.
I was just saying over here on Sheet C, we still have Clay with shot rock in the outside 8-foot.
She can't go anywhere because the snow's
I have no idea what you're asking.
She's going to be so light she's going to be on top of the snow.
Yeah, probably, but she won't go on it. She doesn't like
Red is 1.
So,
That is 1.
and it's been so
Okay.
cold that her
Right,
lips
Jeff. We just got some information from the other side of the glass, and I'm not really great with reading lips, but Jeff is a master, and he was able to answer the question, so I'm not even still sure what the question was.
She was wondering if Red was shot.
Oh!
And on Sheet C, and Red is definitely shot on Sheet C.
Oh, yeah, no question.
And,
now that I know the question, you're right.
We had a cat one time.
Clay's trying to throw a draw,
We had a really bad
and it's going to crash on the guard.
up such that the people on the street.
Sean Mayne looks like he's going for a takeout here, and I think he's got it. I just don't know if he's going to stick around. He's going up. Is he going to hit that red? He did.
Wow.
Wow. All right, so for those of you who didn't just see that, Sean Mayne took out a shot in the front of the house, and the roll from the yellow pushed the red further out. So now yellow is the one shot, and yellow still has two reds out. I'm sorry. Red still has two stones in the outer 12.
Yeah, it's funny with pets.
And that rock is partially covered. Rimkus is still calling for the takeout. Yeah, they're trying to go after it.
They have their own person that they call too. Yeah.
And that takeout's on its way. Sweepers are on it right away. That could be over curling. And it's on the red guard.
I have the one cat that sits up here.
Yeah, you're sitting here and you're trying to go like this to see what's going on. Yeah, she's good for things like that.
So now Sean has the decision, and he makes what I would consider the correct call, which is you have those two center line guards, draw around at your sitting shot in the outside 12, just biting the 8-foot. That's not probably going to be shot rock at the end of this end, so draw around, try to get top button, top 4-foot behind those two center line guards. Over here in seat C, it looks like Clay is asking for a takeout of yellow rock that's just in the top 12. Barbaroni has it underway. Again, it looks like it's going to over curl and crash on the red guard. And it does. Oh. And it caroms over and hits a yellow rock, but harmlessly pushes it through the house. It was close to being possible to jam there. Sean's draw is on its way. It looks heavy.
I'm telling you, Google Photos has been the easiest thing ever because I can keep all my photos on my phone.
Sweepers are on it at the end, trying to finish it, trying to get it to curl a little bit. It does stop for a shot. So Sean's sitting 2, but they're both open. I can't hear him.
No, I don't have a dog. My friend has a dog. I really want a dog. I like little dogs. But
I've been talking the whole time.
Yeah, you gotta turn on. Oh, yours is on. You actually must have hit this thing.
No.
Oh, you're off. That's what it is.
I'm off?
No, because I can hear him.
Yeah, you're off.
Just her.
Well, you're on.
So she's 3 pounds.
I heard you. I could hear you before. But what was on your stop?
So say, which is mic 1?
I just turned off.
I didn't realize they were
Alright,
making
turn your
recording.
on. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
For some reason, mic 1 was. Now it just picks something up. Yeah.
So I'm still on. We're having a little technical difficulties here with the headsets, so I think Britt was talking mostly to himself. So Kevin made a nice draw here on sheet C to sit shot. Just
Oh, there we go.
touching the 4 foot.
So you click that in and that mutes it. And then you had to click it in again to unmute it. Yeah. There you go.
All right, sorry about that. We're back over here on sheet B. We're going after the takeout, and he's outside of it, but I think he's going to get it. He is, but he's going to roll outside the yellow, and that's not a great spot.
And Britt, just get your thing for a second.
So Sean is still sitting shot.
Because I was like, that was
Going to throw that draw again.
Try that. I'm just going to match the levels.
So an interesting development on B. See how that works out for Sean Mayne's team. He's getting up to go throw his hammer.
And over here on sheet C, Clay with his last is trying to remove that yellow rock that's just touching the 4 foot. Looks to be wide.
Sean Mayne looks like he's going to attempt a draw for 2 over here. He's got a lot of room. He just needs a half of 8 foot. Oh, he does not have hammer. I'm sorry. This is his last shot, though. He's trying to bury.
Yeah, Clay has the hammer over here on C, and I was...
Always heavy.
That was his first.
Sean Mayne's draw comes up heavy, and he's going to end up out of play, which is going to leave red a draw for 1 or a hit for more. And he's going to go right after that hit. If he hits and sticks, this would be 4 red.
Yeah, and that would be
very difficult to come back for him coming home in the 8th.
Over on sheet C here, Kevin with his last, trying to throw a guard on his rock that's in the 4-foot, just touching the 4-foot. Line looks great, weight looks good. Sweepers are on and off it. Now they're sweeping it. It's actually a little heavy. It's going to end up tapping that yellow rock. So yellow is still sitting 2. Clay has the last rock. This will be his last shot here. And Clay is up 9-8.
Rimkus' rock is on the way, and it's moving faster than they thought. It took off. It took off on him. It started to curl right away. People are saying he's narrow, but it started to move right away. He might not get this. He's on his own red, and Sean, we have a situation on B. It might be 1 red or 1 yellow, but it is definitely no more than 1 of each.
It's 1 red or 1 yellow.
That stone started to move right away, Jeff. It took off the moment he let go of it. It started to curl, and now a huge break for Sean, and we're going to have to probably measure, I'm going to guess. Oh, yeah, they're heading straight for the measuring device. They're not wasting time here.
Yeah, I will say that all the debate we were just having over the up one.
Yeah, I know.
Something growers like to talk about, but in the end of the day, it's a fairly even situation.
Turn it on.
That's true.
Problem to be on either side of that equation.
Yeah.
For all the time we spend debating it, it's actually usually you're okay with being in either of those situations if it comes up. At least you're in the game and very much in a pretty close
it all comes down back to the discussion about 1 down, 1 up.
Absolutely.
It all comes down to Sean Mayne does steal 1 there on sheet B.
What a break.
So over here on sheet C, Kevin sitting 2 without the hammer. This is Steve Clay's last rock on its way. Again, he looks wide. I think he's trying to draw to the back yellow. It's one that's in the back 8-foot. Sweepers are on it, but I think it's still on the guard.
It's coming off it.
No, it's coming off the guard.
Wow, that
curled
a
hard
lot.
Now to get it there. Got to go hard to get it there. Not going to happen. So Kevin Hotaling is going to steal 2 here in this 7th end to go back in the lead 10-9.
And I swear this is the last time I'm going to bring this up, but what 2 completely different kinds of curling matches we have going on here. We got a total of 7 on 1, and we got, what are we up to over here? 18?
10-9, 19.
19 points.
Yeah, the big difference is that on sheet B, there was only 1 score of 2 in an end, and that was a steal. Oh, no, that was a take 2 with a hammer. And over on sheet C, we had a 2, a 2, a 6, a 4.
We have had 1 end of more than 1 point over on sheet B. We have only had 1 end of 1 point on sheet C.
That is the case.
That's what causes this great difference, and both games are really great.
So here we go with 8th end, and we have the exact situation we were talking about. Sean Mayne up 1 without the hammer, and Steve Clay down 1 with the hammer.
Wow. So we
have data points to collect, Ed.
Where's Ed? Ed, we got data collection going on over here. We asked the question earlier on, what's better? We may find out.
So sheet B, Sean gets a draw into the house. I'm not sure if he was asking for a guard or not. I didn't see it. Rimkus is going to ask for a corner guard. Clay ended up with a corner guard from the other team, so he's going to try to draw around it, but that was a lot of ice. Going to end up being a guard, I believe, in the center.
As I was saying earlier, Britt.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty much a center line guard, which is an interesting concept when you are down one with the hammer. Most people would draw a corner guard.
Because they did.
Rimkus corner guard slides into the house on the T line. Sean's going to ignore it, however, and throw a guard on his rock that's just outside the 4 foot.
Light's good.
Kevin's asking.
Light's good.
You're good now, yeah.
Kevin's asking for a draw, and didn't curl up. Ends up pushing the red rock into the house. And a good guard over there on sheet B. Yellow rock is still open though.
Yeah, plenty of room to get that yellow rock out on B.
And Rimkus is going to do that. Clay here on sheet C is going to, I believe, put a guard on his red rock that got pushed in. But that looks a little warm. Supers are on it though. It's actually going to overcurl. And it ends up losing its handle and going back the other direction.
Oh my goodness.
And that was a pretty bad miss there on sheet B. Pebble might be getting a little flat in spots out there, so if you hit one of those little flat spots, sometimes it'll make the rock either lose its handle or just kind of jump sideways.
And what were they trying to do just now on sheet C?
I think they were throwing a takeout on the red rock, but again,
came a little narrow.
Curled. No, I think, well, maybe a little narrow, but I think it overcurled. TP, we asked for another guard here. This one looks pretty good. Comes into view. It's going to be a very good line.
Absolutely. There is no room to get through there right now.
Not at all.
He's going to have to clear out guards.
Well, Clay is asking to clear off the center line guard. And successful peel is made there, and it's going to roll over in front of that rock that's in the 12 foot. So
on B, Rimkus is going to ask for the clearing of guards. He is.
I think if you tried to hit the yellow rock on the center line, you might have a chance to make a double peel.
He's going for the outside one.
And just touches it over.
Which does what he wants to do, but gives Sean Mayne an opportunity to put something back in there and just convolute it some more.
So you can see that yellow rock is just outside the 4 foot. If it stays there, it would leave Rimkus a draw to the 4 foot to tie that game. Steve Clay asking for a draw over here on sheet C. Again, he's down 2.
The guard request on B is really solid.
Yeah, there's possibly a hole there between those, but that's pretty small.
I'm going to get a bird's eye view of it right now, but I don't think he can get through there. No.
Was made on sheet C to split the house, so Steve Clay down 1 with the hammer, now sitting 2. Both of them.
Rimkus is going to try to clear out on B over here because, as interesting as that port looks, there's just not enough space. So Mayne's just going to continue to put up guards because he does not need to do anything other than not lose points this end.
It's a guard fest.
It is a guard over here on B, Jeff.
All right. And on sheet C, Kevin's trying to make a takeout on that draw that was just thrown to the top 8 on the right side of your screen as you're looking. And weight's good. I think it has to curl. I don't think it's going to make contact. No, it does not. So
another great guard by Kathy Morley over here on B.
Yeah, you're almost to the point where, unless you make a double peel, it might be time to start trying the draws.
Yeah, I mean, Sean Mayne is definitely in the 8-foot. A draw, if you can find a draw to the 4-foot, and it does seem to be swinging, you can get in there, but Rimkus still seems to be worried about clearing out a path.
Well, now I think he's looking at that run back. Get rid of that guard.
Oh, that's exactly what he's looking at, Jeff. Good
hit it
call.
On the broom side. Hit it high on the broom side, and you might get rid of that. Might run it back onto the yellow and make a double there.
And open up that entire side for a draw.
Yeah, but it would open up that side to a draw for.
The takeout is wide. It needs to come back. It might take out the guard, but I doubt the double is there. It's going to just miss the guard out front.
I called it. And we had a perfect view of the line.
And folks who were smart enough to take up a seat directly behind the sheet are calling that shot as it happens, and they're saying it's just a little bit wide.
And it was very hot, so it wasn't going to move any.
So over here on sheet C, Steve Clay got a nice guard on his shot rock. It's top 8 foot.
Tap his guard up and make it a bigger wall, bigger wall, or take that out.
So Kevin's going to go up and get rid of that guard.
That's what he's right.
Over here on B, Sean Mayne's considering going after the one red rock in the rings. And if he gets a hit and roll here, that may make it even more difficult for Broomstones to get their one.
Yeah, you want to hit and roll either all the way in or all the way out. You don't want
right.
You don't want to nose this.
Oh, I can't get right behind this shot. There's too many people in the war room.
It's a miss.
It looks like it's wide though.
It's wide.
And he's just going to flash by it, and that's not the worst case scenario with that shot.
So over here on sheet C, the takeout of the guard was made, and so we still have Steve Clay sitting 2 without the hammer, down 1.
Trying to stay positive. Trying.
And he's going to replace that guard. He's got his 2 points that he needs, so just keep guarding. Make Kevin make a shot. Rimkus is going to go up and peel a guard again over there.
Yeah, it looks like both sheets are looking at trying to get the guards out of the way.
We need some clean background music with flash.
Steve Clay just wants another guard. That looks a little heavy, though.
Ooh. I think he's going to hit this stone to the inside over here on B. And he's going to get the double you talked about earlier there, Jeff. And right now, 1 red, and Sean Mayne's not going to hesitate. He is going to call the takeout himself, and he is going to go after that and try to roll in.
That's right. Number 2. All right. Now Sean is down.
So here on sheet C, the guard was heavier than I think than Steve wanted. Steve wanted a guard, and it ended up sliding into the house. But red is now sitting 3.
All right, I'm repositioning to try and get right behind this shot on sheet B.
And we're still discussing what to do over here on sheet C, so that's...
Well, Sean Mayne's about to deliver. He is definitely going after that outside stone with an attempt to roll in. The weight's good. It does not look like he's outside enough. The sweepers are up. He's going to hit it, but I think he's going to end up nosing it. No, he's going to hit to the outside and just roll a little further out. So not a terrible result, but it does not give him the safety he was looking for on that shot.
Yeah, because now it gives Rimkus that hit and roll.
So now the question is, can Rimkus make the same shot only better and get under cover? And now he's going to be counting one, and then we'd be looking at a tie possibility.
And over here on sheet C, I think Kevin has finally decided he's going to try to make a double on those two red rocks in the 8-foot on the right-hand side of the center line as you're looking on your screen.
We're still discussing the shot over on sheet B, so you'll probably have action on C before we have any sort of resolution here on B.
Yeah, Kevin's going down. I think he's still trying to decide. He's thinking about either making the double or throwing a draw. And he's going to stay with his first call, which is a hit on those two red rocks. I think it is open enough. It gets to the nose.
Interesting over here on, let's see how this happens on C first. Nice shot.
He makes the hit and roll, and it's very close on who is shot there.
Over here on B, Rimkus has decided to do something with that stone out in front of the house. It looks like possibly a promote. If he angle promotes this, he could get under cover.
Even if it goes straight back, the shooter will stay right there, and it'll still be
correct. It's all about weight on this, and it looks like it's got a fair amount of weight.
Sweepers are not really interested in doing anything with it yet.
It's starting to curl.
Oh,
this may hit to the inside and go the opposite direction, but I don't think it's got enough weight to promote it to the rings, and it does not.
So we have Sean's last shot coming up.
They're going to talk about it, but I think the natural cause is to take away any sort of angled run back on the left-hand side, on what's going to be the bottom of the screen. It's partially covered, but it's still there, but then the draw is still there too. You can't take away everything, so take away what's easy. And I'm hearing competing war room theories. I'm hearing draw. I'm hearing take away the tap. I'm hearing is the bar open. That one I can answer. The bar is open. A beer.
Looks like he's going for the draw around the right side there as you're looking at it on the screen. Over here on sheet C, I think.
I like the draw here on B. But what's going on in C?
I think on sheet C, Steve Clay is going to try to tap up his red to make sure they're shot. Weight looks good, but it's got a curl.
Relax.
Still now it's past the guard.
Relax your body language. You're the only person in the war room who's looking at it.
Coming in nice.
Let's stand in front of you so we can't see you.
So maybe Steve thinks he was shot and he was just on a guard. Sean's draw is on his way. He did change his mind on which side he was going to.
Yep, he switched to the right side of the ice, probably because he feels like he knows it better. He did throw a takeout there on this last shot. It looks a little heavy, but otherwise looks okay. It looks like he was looking for a guard slash draw.
No, that's not good.
All right, so why is that not good? Because from my point of view, that takes away the hit and roll on the outside, Jeff. Tell us why that's not good.
Well, this is last rock for Rimkus.
Yes, this is his hammer. So what is Rimkus thinking?
All he's got to do is nose that yellow one and he's shot. So
the inside yellow.
Yeah. If that rock had stopped, so it was just biting the 8-foot, then Rimkus would have had to throw a draw somewhere because hitting it would not have given him a shot. And now he has a relatively straightforward takeout for 1 to tie that game up.
I am right behind that sheet now, and there is no coverage for that stone.
Hit and stick. For going through.
The rock is away. It looks like it's got plenty of weight. It looks narrow to me. No, it looks like it's holding well. He's going to be by the guards. It's a matter of where this is going to end up. Weight's perfect. Line's perfect. It is going to hit. It is going to stick. And it is going to be 1 red over here on sheet B. Why are we shaking hands?
We're going extra end.
And a minor disagreement about whether or not the match was over on sheet B results with us going to an extra end.
So extra end on sheet B. Sean Mayne will have the hammer.
You know what? And I feel like it's only appropriate that I hand over the headset to Ed. The extra end. I don't want you to do the extra end. We need you to do the extra end. I need the two best broadcasters on this. I need the A team. I'm like the 3rd string team they send to Jacksonville on a Sunday. Here comes Ed.
Well, it won't work with this.
So over here on sheet C, do the overhead of that real quick. So I believe that Steve Clay thought he was shot. That's why he tried to throw a guard on his rock there in the 8-foot. Ended up coming deep and leaves Kevin a hit.
Hard to say who's shot here, huh?
Yeah, it's very close, but based on the shot that Steve Clay chose to throw, I think he believes he is shot. And Kevin's looking at the takeout, so I think he thinks that as well. So Steve again is down 1 with the hammer. This would be Kevin's last rock. I think they've taken their 3rd timeout now.
Yeah, the Vice is ready to throw something, clearly. Yeah, hit makes a lot of sense here if he thinks he's Reds counting or even potentially counting.
He really only has to make contact with that top red.
Starting the end on sheet B, and Team Rimkus looking set up a steal here, but actually their first rock floats right through to the back 12. And Sean will just quickly move to remove the rock.
So Kevin makes the takeout. Yellow is definitely shot now on sheet C. Clay's last rock, Steve Clay's last shot. He needs 1 to tie. So we could be looking at extra end on sheet C as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's shots for 2, but they're very difficult. You're off your red to remove the yellow would get you 2, but that's a lot harder than just getting something in for 1, although I'm not sure what he maybe... They just looked at that shot, but... It's a good angle, but those are never easy, so... On our first event final here on B, Sean Mayne's team did take out the rock in the back 12. Left there's Team Rimkus looking to put up a center guard just a little deep, floats into the top 12. So Team Mayne going to be happy about this, has a chance to play a very clean end with the hammer and the extra end.
I think Steve Clay finally decided over here he's going to tap his red.
Sure.
Try to get his one that way. The other choice is to just throw the cold draw to the forefoot. They're still walking around and pointing and.
Okay. Emily Winter takes the red rock top 12, does jam it on the back 12. Still, I mean, hopefully for Sean, you'd imagine that rock's not likely to cause him too much trouble, but it's something in play for Rimkus to potentially make Sean beat at the end of the end.
So I think Steve has changed his mind and is going to the draw. And Rimkus called another guard over there.
Yeah, still looking to try to set up a steal situation. Win or lose, I was told earlier that the Rimkus team are all 5-unders. They've done a great job this weekend. Yeah.
Congratulations to them.
Yeah.
Steve Clay's finals rocket's on its way. Line looks good. I think it's a little light. I think the sweepers need to be on it a little bit sooner than that.
Oh, it's real close. They just come up short. Yeah.
Yeah, they were waiting. They were waiting on it to come off that guard, and ends up not getting there.
So third event win for Kevin Hotaling out of Petersam.
Yes, indeed, over Steve Clay from Columbus. We're back over here on sheet B, our only game left. We have another takeout and a jam on that rock in the back 12.
Yeah. So that rock's getting slightly better for team Team Rimkus there. Slightly more likely to test Sean at the end if it's still there, but the overall team Mayne's still very happy with how this end has progressed so far. Nothing out front.
Yeah, that one yellow rock could be problematic. Sean needs a draw at some point.
Absolutely.
Kind of covered his outturn side there. Rimkus asking for another guard. How many guards do you like? If you have to steal, Ed, and you're throwing guards, how many do you like, 6 or 7?
I prefer 6, but there have been times when if there's nothing else to do, I've thrown the 7th guard, and sometimes it works out. Hey, I've had that 7th guard. Also, sometimes if there's a guard you're not happy to use on the corner, you throw the center one, they at least have to peel it, so you know you can throw your last rock. But usually if there's something out there for me to use on my first skips rock, I'll throw it so at least I get the weight down. Gives you 2 chances to set something up.
I agree. That's what I like to do. I like to have that practice draw.
Sure, yeah. Ooh, that was unfortunate because they did not make the double and they left the center guard up. So now Rimkus does have something to work with here. As a center guard, he can draw around.
And we're on Vice's first shot.
Yeah, still a ways to go here in the 9th. I'm sorry. I'm losing my tiara that someone put on my head.
So in this situation, I might even throw another guard.
Yeah, because there
are 2 yellow rocks, right? So those could be used as a run back by Sean. So if you
absolutely.
Want to get one of your own out there.
No, and I think it's especially this early in the end with so many rocks left. You throw a second guard up, you really bring the play into the forefoot and towards the center line with that second guard. Now, if this ends up burying, it's going to be a guard, but it is very close to that yellow one. I mean, Sean may have some sort of double peel here. It's not easy. Getting rid of one will be,
Now, if he hits it too thin, it'll actually spin the red one
back
into the house.
Yeah, that yellow in the top 12, like you said, could cause a few issues here. Our third event finalists coming back off the ice, getting a round of applause in the warm room here.
It's going to be a
Peels.
straight peel.
Could even be just on the nose, huh? Nope. Go. We got a wall of yellow rocks out front now. Which,
Rimkus choosing to go around. It's, I don't think it's a bad choice at this point. Even if you get it half buried around the yellow guards, that's good enough.
Yeah, you managed to get a half buried rock, and that actually makes your back 8 rock very relevant because it's going to be very hard to remove your counter. Well, may have overswept that a bit. Okay. Take a look behind that to see if there is the hit and roll. It might be. Sean's likely to peel anyway, just to get that center open so he knows he has a shot at the end of the end. But
give it that angle here.
Yeah, he could also run a yellow right into that red, but
yeah. So that rock is half buried.
Yeah, it's at least yeah, more than edge to edge, and there's no way you could roll in off it. So yeah, I'm decked out, and the lay. Yeah, I'm very well accessorized apparently for this end of commentary I'm doing. All right, rocks away from Kathy Mooney. Trying to play the peel and just more or less noses it. Gets the back one. Well,
red is still shot.
Red shot, left a center guard, removed the second shooter, which means if Sean has a peel at the end, that'll help. But overall, I mean, that rock is not in a great place for Sean either. Sitting back there in the center of the ice. It's also in a bad place if he can see some of the red. That might be a jam possibility if he was ever to try to peel it. Yeah, could end up right on that yellow. So I'm curious. They're Rimkus really going over their options here. Might just be looking to cover the center line. I'm not sure what.
Yeah, Sean's going to have a run back on that yellow rock that's on the right-hand side of the center line as we're looking on the screen.
Sure.
Or the left-hand side of the center line as we're looking out the windows.
So if you're red, one thing here is throw this. If you do throw a center line guard, if that's what he's thinking, even if Sean makes the run back, you'll then have a draw around to potentially beat him, especially if that you now have a center line guard you can use. And the run back's not easy, of course, to begin with. That's it's about a 8-9 foot run back.
Yes.
Yeah.
But that broom, it looks like it's a guard call.
I think so. Yeah. Yeah, I think he's guarding the hole that Sean could draw through right now. Of course, he also has the option. He could have chosen to draw that himself and try to improve, get to the full 4 behind that yellow guard that's close to the center line.
Yeah. Even if you go top 12 in between those two rocks.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So yeah, in this case, you can throw any guard on that line. Kind of gets the job done. Ice not necessarily curling a ton. Even if you leave a 2 in case you have to draw around on your last shot. It's not bad. Yeah.
Looks a little warm. Sweepers are not really paying attention to it. They're discussing what beverage they're going to have. It's going to go.
Going to hit the inside of that yellow and just cover the hole. That actually works out okay for. Yeah.
Sean still has that run back, and I think he just went and pointed at that. So
yeah.
That's going to be the.
Yeah, you're certainly going to play that first, no matter what. You make it. You make it. You open it up if you don't make it. So.
Yeah, if he doesn't make it and it opens it up, then Rimkus is going to be forced to throw a guard. And Sean will have a tap on the other side.
So how many viewers do we have right now? This is a very exciting finish. I hope we've held on to some of our viewership. 27, wow. Jeff's volume is very low, Michael Parker says.
Is it still low? Oh,
maybe that was a while ago.
It could have been. Is there a time on there?
No, on the comments there's no time, so yeah, you can bring that up. There you go.
All right, I just turned my volume up in case it was low.
So if there's anyone, since we have a relatively large viewership, we may have some friends and family who aren't big curlers. I'll just say one of the things you're looking at here, Sean, having 3 rocks in the house. Remember, this is the number of rocks in there really doesn't matter. It's whoever scores. 1 point's enough to win here. So here comes it's going to be a peel, straight peel here. So while Sean might hit and score 4 in his last rock, it's no different than scoring 1 here. This is all about who counts in the end. So you might, in some cases, I see skips consider improving their rock by going around that center guard. Here, I think you guard that rock, and the guard also guards the draw. If you put the guard in the right place, you're kind of taking away the easiest draw too.
Yeah, and you're forcing Sean into a tap, right?
Yeah, it looks like he's also looking at drawing to a place where maybe both hits don't. If you hit nose, you don't count. It's a very precise shot that you have to make to do that. If you were going to draw, I would just draw to be a better, be parallel with that red.
Yes.
Yeah, and be full 4, buried.
If you can get it buried, I mean, you can go top button.
Yeah.
That might leave Sean a double, but.
Right. You go if you're just biting the top of the button, that's a tough double. Yeah. So definitely some options here to consider for Rimkus on his last rock.
And again, I think if you're throwing the guard, you want to guard the inside of that red rock, so the guard is more toward the center line. So you're leaving the outside open, and if Sean tries to pick it out, it could jam on that back yellow and still count.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, absolutely. You want to leave the outside edge if you're going to show anything.
And that would effectively cover up that draw.
Right. Yeah.
And I believe that's what Rimkus. I would love to say his first name, but I have no idea.
I want to say it's Henrikus, but I don't want to say I'm 100% sure on the pronunciation. But.
So the guard is the call.
They tightened up that broom. He might be playing the draw. Broom's middle of the 8 foot, so.
Yeah.
He might be looking to sit too, and.
Swap here to the delivery end.
We'll get a little production value here for the final couple shots.
Only because then I get to play with the effects.
Yeah, always cool. We might see some fly rotate or cube zoom here.
I like fly rotate. Whoa.
That's fine, it's good.
Everything's fine.
Nothing to see here, people.
We did not turn off the stream, you know.
All right, there we go. Rock's on its way. Line looks good.
Yeah, just a clean from the sweepers. Now they're on it a little. Looks still like a light sweep, not a panic.
On and off. That looks like guard weight to me. Just guard weight.
Finish hard.
Yeah, I think.
Sean needs to find a way to get to 1. He's thinking angle tap. He's sliding over. He's thinking angle tap.
Yeah, if that rock is effectively guarded, I think it is, especially if you're only showing the outside.
It's completely buried.
Then you're.
Somebody call timeout.
You're not making this any easier on me, Brett.
We have some emphatic thoughts out here. No, he's gonna. I'm sure he'll play the.
Do you not have timeout in this event?
No timeouts in this event as it happens. Looks like we're gonna play a tap here, one of the yellows to try to score.
You know, it's interesting because that guard, I don't know if Rimkus did that on purpose, but he left that guard long enough that it's almost tempting to try to get around it with kind of backline weight and tap the red one
You
back.
only have to move it 3 feet, 3.5 feet maybe to count. Yeah.
Sean's just looking to see if the tap goes back on his own yellow, will be shot. And I think get an overhead here.
Yes, if he freezes to his back one, he'll be biting the 4, I think, and should be.
Yeah.
Yeah. You'd have to dead jam it. You can't roll off of it, but if
Correct.
you dead jam it,
That's
you'd.
a dead jam.
Yeah. Sean Mayne heading into the house for what will be the final shot of the golden handle.
Rock's on its way. Sweepers are on it pretty
Sweepers
early.
are on it quick.
I think they're worried about line.
Weight might be a bit up too, though. There's two issues here. You do have to get it by. Now, and just too much weight. A little too much weight. Sweepers had to go for line. They may have even been trying to play it into the jam with maybe it was a little heavy off his hand. And well, certainly a great first event final for the golden handle. But congratulations to Team Rimkus.
Kelly, hug her. She is not a jinx.
And
Warm Room is excited. But that was a great final game.
Oh, great ending. Great 8th and 9th ends. Tightly played the whole way. That's what you want to see out of a first event final. Any Bonspiel.
Two well-matched teams.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So that'll...
I'll let Jeff take you off for the to close off the broadcast. It was a pleasure doing the last end.
Yes, thanks for jumping in, Ed.
Oh, no problem.
So that'll conclude our Golden Handle, 53rd Golden Handle broadcast. Thanks to everybody who tuned in out there and anybody who might still be left listening. And next broadcast will probably be during, there could be some league broadcasting going on, but probably the next broadcast with commentating will probably be the college spiel coming up at the end of the month for those that are interested. Thanks for tuning in, and all these games are saved, so if you really want to go back and watch them again, you can do that, and you can even put it on mute so that you don't have to listen to the announcers. Thanks, everyone.